Hi everybody, hope you're all well. Welcome to The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. Today I'm going to read for you chapter 3. Hope you enjoy. Chapter 3, Santa's Bottom. Have you ever seen a house that's bigger than a school? Santa's house is. Have you ever seen a house that's bigger than a castle? Santa's house is. Have you ever seen a house that's bigger than the moon? Okay, Santa's house isn't quite that big, but it's pretty massive. In your head, imagine the biggest, grandest house you've ever seen. Now imagine it's all made of strong, sturdy wood, like a giant log cabin. Now add a huge twisty turret, 4 tall chimney pots, puffing out clouds of glittery smoke, and 99 windows of brightly coloured glass, and 1 frosted one for Santa's bathroom. Now imagine an enormous front door made of thick, chunky pine, with a gleaming door knocker shaped like a snowflake made of solid, unbreakable ice. Leading to the door there used to be a knobbly cobblestone path, but it was so hard for the elves to walk on that Santa had it replaced with a toboggan run. Now the elves zoomed down to the front door on miniature sledges. On either side of the toboggan run, imagine a sprawling garden jam-packed full of snow-covered Christmas trees. This is the North Pole Snow Ranch. It's where Santa lives, right at the centre of the North Pole. Snozzletrump and the others lived very close by. At the top of the toboggan run path was the elf city, which was about the size of a small human village. There were large stables for the reindeer, with triple-height ceilings so they could fly inside, a Christmas-themed miniature golf course, a cinema showing all the greatest Christmas films, a library full of Christmas stories, 4 North Starbucks coffee shops, an ice skating rink, which was really just Santa's permanently frozen outdoor swimming pool. Because elves love food so much, especially sweet things, every other shop was either a sweet shop or a bakery, so the air always smelt of warm sugar and fresh crumpets. And there was so much more. Here's a little map so you can see. It was a fantastic place to live. Suddenly, Snozzletrump, Specklehump, Sparklefoot, Sugarsnout, Starlump, Spudcheeks, Snowcrumb, and Sprout burst in through the enormous wooden front door of the Snow Ranch. They waddled into the entrance hall, hunched together under the weight of the frozen egg on their backs. "Santa, come quick! Santa, come help! The egg is too heavy for North Pole elves!" the 8 elves cried out. All of a sudden the boom, boom of heavy footsteps rattled around the entrance hall, where the 8 egg-finders waited. Then the footsteps stopped and there was a silence for a moment. Out of nowhere, a huge, heavy man crashed down from the ceiling on a circus trapeze. It was Santa! He always liked to make an entrance. He was the largest man you could ever imagine. Imagine your 2 fattest relatives. It's okay, they won't know you thought of them. Now, imagine that those 2 people were one person. Yep, that's how big Santa was. Not just fat, but fantastic. He was easily the size of 50 elves put together, but for a man of such enormous proportions, Santa was surprisingly nimble. He was the fastest runner in the northern hemisphere. He could dance on the tips of his toes like a ballerina. He could backflip and somersault like a giant, stealthy ninja. He once tightrope walked from the North Pole to the South Pole, and halfway back again. He had to get a lift home on the sleigh because of a nasty blister. Santa triple backflipped into a double forward roll across the vast entrance hall and came to an abrupt stop millimeters away from the group of elves. His deep red onesie stretched tightly over his round belly. He hopped, skipped, and tippy-toed around them, peering excitedly at what they were carrying on their backs, still hidden under their woolly elf coats. "How exciting!" Santa said giddily. "How jolly marvellous!" "Spiffing! Oh, what a wonderful sight! Oh, what a wonder! How puzzlingly mysterious! How mysteriously puzzling! You 8 little elfie welfies, what have you here? Can I touch it? Shall we look? Why, I know what this is, of course. It's obvious. This is what is it?" With that, the elves pulled off their coats and scarfs and revealed a shimmery shell of an enormous egg. Santa said curiously. The elves repeated. "Interesting. Santa whispered through his thick, white, whiskery and twisty moustache. Very interesting, the elf replied, hoping Santa would next say something that rhymed. And where was it nesting? Santa asked, looking rather impressed with himself at managing to find a rhyme. He was usually absolutely rotten at rhyming with the elves, which they found extremely frustrating. In the ice! It was frozen! It's lucky that it wasn't broken, cried out Sprout. Crikey, Santa said, looking rather concerned all of a sudden. If this egg had been frozen down in the ice mines, then it must be very old. Even older than me. And I'm 650. 20. Jolly gosh, I seem to have forgotten how old I am. The elves all looked at each other, half excited by the riddle of the old frozen egg, and half concerned that Santa had now started talking with absolutely no concern for rhythm or rhyme. What do we do with an egg that's frozen? Asked Sparklefoot. Boil it up or crack it open, answered Spudcheeks. Just then the egg gave another little wibble-wobble. Boil it up, crack it open, Santa cried. You balmy bunch of tiny twerps, we can't do that. There's something inside this egg, something alive. This egg needs to be warmed slowly, cared for, loved. This egg needs its mother to sit on it, like a mother hen sits on her eggs. He looked around the room as if hoping to see some sort of giant hen that could sit on the edge of the egg to warm it up. But Santa, this egg has no mum. It needs someone else's bum, said Snuzzletrump, who tried to use words like bum or bottom as much as possible. Golly jingle bells, you're right, Snuzzletrump, said Santa, but whose bottom is big enough to warm up this frozen egg? And with that the elf broke into a song that went something like this. This egg needs warming under someone's bum, but an elf's backside is a tiny one. If every elf put his bottom on the egg would freeze their bums instead. So an elf can't do it, that's a silly idea. An elf can't do it, it would take a whole year. If an elf can't do it, there must be someone else, someone much bigger than the North Pole elf. And the elves finished their song and danced on their knees, pointing their fingers at Santa, looking up at him with hopeful eyes. Me? Santa said. I can't sit on that egg. It's almost Christmas time. There's so much planning to be done, and packing and wrapping. Santa hesitated. But deep down he knew what needed to be done, and he knew that he was the only person to do it. His elves would take care of all the Christmas preparations. All he needed to do was pack his giant, jolly, warm bottom on top of the frozen egg. So that's exactly what he did. Thank you for listening.